Sports Center on the campus of IPFW here in Fort Wayne, along with Dave Skelton, Kent Horman here on College 5. It's the season finale for the IPFW women's basketball team. The Mastodons taking on North Dakota State. And Doc, as we wrap up a 2006-2007 season that has had its ups and downs, the team's really going in opposite directions. North Dakota State has won 5 of its last 6. IPFW scuffling a bit down the stretch, losing 6 of its last 7.
But they played some pretty good ball games along the way, just weren't able to finish them, and they hope they can get that finish done today.
It will be a somewhat of an emotional afternoon. It is Senior Day, and they'll pay tribute before this basketball game to seniors who've done a lot for this program. Ashley Johnson, Hillary O'Connell, Starla Williams, Pavla Plikova, all kids who put their heart and soul into this program for 4+ years.
It's a lot of hard work along the way. Whether you win or lose, it's a lot of hard work.
Well, IPFW will be looking to avenge a loss to North Dakota State earlier this year out of Fargo, North Dakota. Let's see if the Dons, who already have set a single-season record for most victories since they've been Division I, can close it out in style on Senior Day from here at the Gate Center. We'll have the starting lineups and the tip-off coming up next. This is IPFW basketball on College 5.
I guess I'm like most kids. I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's got to feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to the website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne, one university, 2 great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be.
Well, Doc, that sure is a way to kind of start the celebration of Senior Day here at the Gate Center. One of the IPFW players, Natalie Roberts, singing the national anthem and doing a fabulous job. And we're just about now to have the ceremony to honor the 4 seniors we talked about to start the broadcast. And, you know, you think of these ladies, you've been here and you've seen them since they came here as freshmen. Players like Hillary O'Connell, who has endured not 1 but 2 knee surgeries. Pavla Plikova, who's being introduced right now out of Czechoslovakia. She's been here now a number of years and has had her ups and downs with the injury bug as well. All of these ladies will also have, of course, Ashley Johnson. What a career she's had here. And Starla Williams. They've all done a fabulous job with this program.
And it's one of those things where people don't realize how much time, effort, work a player puts in, no matter whether they're a starter or they're the 15th player, whoever it is. They work hard.
Well, and it's one of the things, pick your sport. In this case, it's women's basketball. This truly is a team game. Yeah. And especially as IPFW has built this program since it became Division I, will next year have its first year of competition in the Mid-Continent Conference. We've talked about this at great length, but it really is true. Ladies like this one right here, Starla Williams, the people who came here and have helped build this program to be competitive and hopefully one day a winning program, hopefully one day a conference winning program. These are the players that laid the foundation that I think made this university attractive to become a member of a conference.
And as you look at the player and her dad out there, you can see where she gets her height.
And no question about Starla. And here is Hillary O'Connell. I remember Hillary, boy, how does time fly? Yeah. She's the 5th-year senior again. She had to sit out a year with a knee injury, had a red shirt, medical red shirt. But I remember covering Hillary when she was just the outstanding player at Warsaw High School. And she came to IPFW and has really been through it all here as far as part of the Lady Mastodons' growth into what has been now their most successful year. Like the men, the Lady Mastodons have set a single-season record for most victories in a year right now at 12-16, and hoping to add number 13 this afternoon.
Yeah, Hillary not only had to endure those knee surgeries, but if I'm not mistaken, she had a shoulder surgery along the way.
And then coming out will be the last senior, Ashley Johnson, and what a career Ashley has had. Big ovation here from the crowd, and you know, she's just one of the go-to gals, you would say, on this team. Really has been since her arrival. And she does it all as far as shooting the ball, driving, passing, defending. Ashley has really been one of the linchpins of this program ever since she arrived on campus.
She's been one of those kind of players that always knows where the ball is. She can be there. She rebounds for no bigger than she is, and she's all over the floor.
And again, this is another young lady who I remember tearing it up during her high school career. at Kokomo. Well, the 4 seniors, Pavla Plitkova, Starla Williams, Hillary O'Connell, Ashley Johnson, all smiles right now. Great to have their families on the floor with them, but I'm sure it's a bittersweet day because this ends the basketball career. This is the final game of their IPFW basketball career, but I'm sure bright futures, ladies all, and they will be huge contributors to whatever business they wind up working in and whatever communities they wind up working in, and great contributors to the IPFW basketball program.
And those jerseys that have been awarded to them this afternoon will be a lot of memories for them.
Well, we're about to get down to the business of basketball, and again, as we talked about earlier, this is a big game for IPFW, and let's see if they can come back and avenge an earlier loss to North Dakota State. They fell 89-72 earlier in February in Fargo. Here is the starting lineup for the Bison. At 1 guard is a 5'8 senior from Kindred, North Dakota, Amanda Jurdot. Another guard is a 5'7 junior from Fremont, Nebraska, Emily Moran. And they use a 3-guard set. The other guard is a 5'10 junior from Austin, Minnesota, Lisa Bew. A forward, and this is a good one, 6-foot junior from Climax, Minnesota, Brenda Slight. She averages 12 points a game. And jumping center will be the 6'2 junior from Enderlin, North Dakota, Jenna Lemnis. And the head coach in her 28th season is Amy Ruley, 78 graduate of Purdue. Take a look at that record, 652 and 187. Her assistants are Kara Pearson and Amanda Leonard. Now the starting lineup for IPFW, and this will be a little bit of a unique lineup here because it is paying tribute to the seniors. All 4 seniors will start, starting with one of the guards, the 5'8 senior out of Kokomo, Ashley Johnson. Starla Williams will jump center. Starla is the 6'2 senior from Lindenhurst, Illinois. Another guard, the 5'9 senior out of Prague, Czech Republic, Pavla Plitkova. The other guard is the 5'8 senior out of Warsaw, Indiana, Hillary O'Connell. And we have an infiltrator in the lot. Yeah. The other starter is the freshman, the redshirt freshman out of Okemos, Michigan, the 6-foot forward, Samantha Edwards.
Well, somebody had to do it. They ran out of seniors. So.
Yeah, with only 4 seniors.
That's right.
Head coach Chris Paul in his first season, but he is really building this program into a success. His assistants are Mahogany Green and Jenny Green, as I call them, but they don't like it. I call them Gang Green. And Chris now with the final huddle for his kids. And let's see if IPFW can close the season out in style. Kind of ironic that both the IPFW women and the IPFW men are going for their 13th victories of the season in their season finale. One here against North Dakota, the women here at the Gates Center, and the men still trying to make their way through a ton of snow in Fargo to play North Dakota State tonight. Dane Fife would love to get that 13th victory, but it won't be easy because the Bison men are trying for their 20th victory of the season.
Yeah, both situations, it's one of those where the number 13 has a great ring to it.
Well, the officials are Tina Clark, Bob Interline, and Gary Roberts. And we are just about set to jump this one up. It'll be Starla Williams jumping against the 6'2 junior Jenna Lemnis. Ball's in the air, and it is controlled by the Dons. Pavla Plitkova has it, leaves it back for Ashley Johnson. Now back to Pavla. She takes a look, comes up high to Edwards. Wrap it around to Williams. Flips the pass up to Ashley Johnson. Ashley with a little dribble drive, comes up, little runner, bounces off the back of the rim. The rebound is tipped back, Samantha Edwards, and Sam drops it through.
Great effort by Starla Williams keeping that ball alive.
You can tell there is a lot of excitement and emotion in these Dons early on, but breaking the press is North Dakota State. Quickly back the other way, and dropping it through is Brenda Slight after taking a good pass from Jenna Lemnis.
Textbook execution on beating the zone press.
Now Plitkova starts her dribble down the lane. She spots up, bounces the ball back to O'Connell. Little fake. Bounce pass goes to Ashley Johnson. Back up to Plitkova. Left-handed three. Got it! A big triple for Pavla Plitkova.
Yeah, North Dakota has come out in a zone defense, so that shot's going to be there.
And Pavla can hit that ball from behind the arc, but here's another Bison press break, and the ball gets ahead to Slight, and she again has another easy lay-in, so 5-4 in favor of the Dons here in the opening minute and change. Chris Paul, as you may have heard, barking out some instructions to his team. Here's Ashley Johnson. She is picked up by Moran. Now AJ working the ball up high to Starla Williams. Sam Edwards now. Long cross-court pass to O'Connell. Hillary starts to drive, but she's cut off by her defender, Jurdot. They get the ball down low to Starla Williams. Looks like she's fouled, and the first foul of the game goes to Jenna Lemnis.
Pretty active defense by North Dakota State, so we'll see how long they can keep up that effort, that pace.
Well, quickly, Jerry Penley checks in, and Lemnis will check out. Boy, there is plenty of height to go around on this Bison squad.
They really do have.
Johnson flicks the pass out. There's Edwards. She loves the baseline, rattles in and out, and the rebound is controlled by Lisa Bew. She leaves it for Jurdot. Jurdot fakes the shot, now comes across. Bew takes a look, brings it back out high to Jurdot. She directs some traffic.
IPFW has also opened up in his own defense.
There's a long three from the wing, and good by Emily Moran. Doc, you're correct. You had that zone defense, but there was the zone breaker, the three-pointer. Now AJ drives down the lane, goes to the left hand and lays it in. We've seen that many a time. Johnson on the score sheet. The pace awfully upbeat here in the early going. We are tied at 7. Jurdot again directing some traffic as she dribbles to her right. Pletkova a little late on the defense, so a long ball is hoisted up by Slight. It's off the mark. Rebound controlled by the Dons, and here comes AJ running the floor. She likes that lane, cut off. Leaves for O'Connell. Hillary, bounce pass to Edwards. Flips it back out to Hillary. Now Starla Williams is doubled, so it's back to Pletkova. She fakes the shot, she travels.
Yeah, couldn't keep that foot planted until she got the momentum going.
Well-played game here in the early going. 17-18 to go in the first half. Doc Skelton and Ken Horman here on College 5. This is the first of a College 5 doubleheader. Volleyball tonight as the Mastodon men take on UC Santa Barbara. Now here's an open jumper from the deep corner. That was a 3-ball way off the mark by Bew. An air ball, and the Dons have the rebound. Here comes Johnson running the floor again. AJ, little crossover, gets to O'Connell. Amy Ruley wanted a travel called, but on they play. Now here comes O'Connell. She's guarded by Jurdot. Starla Williams sets the screen, then gets the pass. She's got a little runner down the lane and hits it.
That was a nice pick that she set and then peeled out, rolled out, got the ball and put it in.
Now again, the Dons with some backcourt pressure, but here come the Bison breaking it. Bew leaves for Jurdot. They get the ball down in the paint, and dropping it is Slight. Slight averages 12 points a game. She already has 6, and it's 9-9. Now, despite the fact the Dons have lost 6 of their last 7 down the stretch, they've been playing with supreme confidence. There's an off-balance runner put up by Johnson. Rebound is poked back out to O'Connell, and they'll reset the offense with a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Pletkova leaves for Ashley Johnson. We will have some substitutions at the next stoppage. O'Connell snaps it back out. AJ kicks it over. Pletkova, long jumper off the back of the iron, but Edwards has the rebound, yanks it out, gives it to O'Connell. There's 3 for Hillary. No, that's too strong. And Bew has the rebound for the Bison.
The Dons are doing a great job on the offensive board so far today.
Yes, they are, Doc. Now it comes again to Bew. She puts up the long jumper. That's off the back plate. And Pletkova clears for the Dons. Now Pavla leaves the ball back to Ashley Johnson. AJ guarded by Moran. Gets it into the corner to O'Connell. There's Jurdot on her. Now 16-footer by Edwards and nothing but net. Good rotation by the Dons.
Yes, it was. The ball kept moving, and everybody's getting into the offense, and that's great to see.
Well, the press was broken again, and that time Slight, when she was looking for a mate to pass it to, left her feet. Gravity pulled her down.
And there was no one to pass to.
No one to pass to, and a travel is called, and we have a timeout. 15:09 to go in this first half. IPFW leads North Dakota State 11-9. This is Dons basketball in College 5.
To a college where the class size is small. I've gone away to a college with a beautiful campus.
I've gone away to a college that cares about diversity.
I've gone away to a college where I get to live in my own apartment instead of living in a dorm room.
I've gone away to a college that really isn't that far away at all.
I go to IPFW.
IPFW.
I go to IPFW.
To find out more about college life at IPFW, go to our website. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes, and many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Doc Skelton and Ken Horman back at the Gates Center. An example of the good ball movement by IPFW. Hillary O'Connell, good court vision, spies a wide open Sam Edwards, and she makes no mistake, Doc, from 16 feet.
She's a good shooter, good jump shooter down the baseline and out front.
Now here come the Dons with the basketball, the 2-point lead. Pass comes over. On the way is a 3 ball, and that's knocked down immediately by Jonna Lewis Carlisle. During the timeout, Chris Paul went to his more regular roster. Jonna Lewis Carlisle is in, along with Julianne Una. Again, the full court pressure is broken. And here come the Bison. Jurdot, Moran to Heinzelman, and the ball is passed into Kayla Dowling, and Dowling misses her shot. The Dons have the rebound, work the ball ahead. They're running some floor. Edwards comes back out to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. She works on Jurdot, has the ball poked away. Good steal. Now Jurdot has the ball poked away from her, but it's collected by Dowling. Now they come to Moran. O'Connell is all over her, so she tosses back out to Amanda Jurdot. Back over to Emily Moran. They come up high now to Danny Heinzelman, who checked in during that timeout. She's a 6'1 senior out of Alberta, Minnesota. Back to Kayla Dowling. Long jumper is on the way, and that's way off the mark by Moran. And again, it's one and done for the Bison.
Moran is one of the better three-point shooters, but so far hasn't connected today.
Now Ashley Johnson slowing things down a little bit. She's greeted by Emily Moran. Flips the ball over to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Up high to Ona. Julianne takes a look. Gives it back to Jonna. Now back to Julianne. She backs it in her defender. Little hook off the glass, and it tips off the rim, and the rebound is pulled down by Danny Heinzelman. But the pass gets ahead and skips past Dowling. She wasn't quite ready for it. Bit of a rush play by the Bison.
Yeah. Didn't see the ball coming. Couldn't get a hand on it.
Samantha Edwards inbounds the ball to Jonna Lewis Carlisle.
With IPFW having their quicker guards in now, North Dakota's gone to a man-to-man defense.
Hillary O'Connell leaves for Jonna Lewis Carlisle. She spots up from 15 and knocks it down. Boy, Jonna has come in during that last timeout and quickly scored 5 points. I think before that inbounds pass, Samantha Edwards said she needed to come out. A travel is called on Amanda Jurdot, and I see Tina Moen about to come in. And she does, and Sam Edwards will take a chair. I think she's breathing heavily, so I think she's a little winded.
I think she's all right. Yeah, other just needed a break.
And a 30-second timeout was called by Amy Ruley. So one of the things that we can tell you is the Chris Paul Show. How about that? Keep up with the women's basketball team each week through the season by tuning into the Chris Paul Show. Wednesdays at 6:30, Fridays at 5:30, Saturdays at 12:30 here on College 5. Coach Paul is joined by host Mike Moss and reviews recent games, talks with players and guests, and previews the upcoming games. Well, none of that anymore. Probably review the season. But that is the Chris Paul Show. Wednesdays 6:30, Fridays 5:30, and Saturdays at 12:30 right here on College 5. Back to the action. Here is Ashley Johnson. Gets the ball over to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Tries to come off a Tina Moen screen. Moen takes the return pass and knocks down the jumper.
Nice move again. Sets a nice pick, peels out, gets the ball, open jumper.
18-9 in favor of the Dons. They are on a run. Now here's a pass to a cutting Heinzelman. She misses. They get the rebound back, but that time Jackie Sandin is thwarted. And as Slight comes up with the basketball, steps on the baseline.
Good defense that time by Julian. She held her ground on the baseline and just wouldn't give.
Check that was actually Heinzelman underneath and stepped on the baseline. And now we have Bew returning to the lineup for the Bison. 18-9 in favor of the Mastodons as we approach 12 and a half minutes of the first half. Now here comes AJ, crosses over, gets right by her defender, but dishes to Moen. Moen spots up for the J off the rim. It's batted out there by Una, and maybe a little too sharply as it goes out of bounds. But again, the Dons very active on that offensive glass.
Very active, and a good try. Batted out. Probably one of our players will be there, but that time North Dakota State picked it off.
Well, backcourt pressure, which is serving its purpose, annoy the Bison, eat up some of the clock. Now Jurdot has 15 seconds to set up the offense. They get it down into the lane, and an errant pass by Slight goes right into the hands of the Mastodons. Here's John Lewis Carlisle, spots up for the jumper, a little too short, and the rebound deflects off of a Bison player. Looked like it went off the hands of Brenda Slight. So the Dons with a fresh 30, and they'll inbound the ball under their own basket. Ashley Johnson to trigger, lobs it into Una. Una tries to go to the left hand, but it's batted out of her hand.
Pretty good defensive that time by Brenda Slight.
Well, we've got timeout in the floor, 11:58 to go in this opening half. Good start for the Dons. They lead 18-9 over North Dakota State. This is Mastodon basketball on College 5.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
Ken Horman and Dave Skelton back at the Gate Center, and Doc, there's another example without the basketball, setting screens. Now they ring it around and back up high to Emily Moran. She takes a look, snaps it out to Slight. Now they come right, and a long jumper. That's a 3-ball, and it's hit by Jurdot. Jurdot's first bucket of the game, and that slices the Dons' lead to 20-12.
Yeah, we had a good angle on that shot. It looked good all the way.
Yes, it did. Now Ashley Johnson working down the lane, and as she drives, before she can get the shot up, looks like she's held. That'll be on Emily Moran. Now we talk about the pace of this game and how well it's been played. That's only the second foul on the Bison. No fouls have been called on the Dons, and we're ticking down to the 11-minute mark. Now Una swims underneath her defender, and underneath Penley, Julianne Una puts it right under her shoulder.
Great post move.
Dons are hot, 20-12, but there's a pass going backdoor to Slight, off the glass, no. Rebound is pulled down, and that time as Penley tries to go up with it, she's stripped away. Ball goes out of bounds at side court, last touch by a Bison. Slight does not agree.
They're letting them play.
I'm not sure, Doc, what's more impressive, the offense of the Dons or their defense?
The defense, yeah.
What a great package they've had so far. I talked to men's coach Dane Fife. It's amazing when you're playing that good, tight defense. And there's a good entry pass to Una, and she lays it in. Great job that time by Jonna Ludus Carlisle. And off the bench, Una quickly has 6 points. It is 24-12 at the 10:25 mark.
The Bison may be going back to their zone defense soon.
Well, there's a crisp pass back door to Slight, who has her 8th point with the easy lay-in, and those have been all of her points on just easy backdoor cuts that have resulted in 2-footers. Now here comes Nan Moore. Starts her drive, cut off by Jurdot. Comes the other way, misses the shot. Rebound, though, is tipped, and last touch by Jerry Penley. Now we have Sam Edwards and Starla Williams back in for Moen and for Una. But the point I was making, I was talking with Coach Dane Fife recently. You know, you play that suffocating defense. Defense creates good offense. Yeah. It creates layups. In the men's case, it creates dunks. Well, there's an errant inbounds pass, and it's intercepted by Bew. Bew, as she tried to get it to her teammate, it was intercepted by a hustling Nan Moore, but she travels with the ball still. There's that good defense.
Great move. I mean, she stopped an open bucket.
Chris Paul posing as the thinker. What a job he's done this year with this basketball team, his first full year as the head coach. Now Slight comes right to Bew. Cross-court pass goes to Jurdot, and Jurdot travels.
Yeah, Chris has done a great job from last January on.
Well, now Hillary O'Connell checks in. Ashley Johnson will just get a breather. We've got a bunch of the seniors back in. 3 of the seniors are in right now. The only one sitting is Pletkova. Now Jonna Lewis-Carlisle leaves for O'Connell. Hillary a little dribble as she bumps off of Moran. Leaves for Nan Moore to Starla Williams. Open jumper. No. Too strong, and the rebound is hauled down by the 6'2" Jenna Lemnis. And here comes quickly picked up by Starla Williams. Now it comes across to Moran. They go deep into the corner. Long jumper by Bew, and she's got the 3 ball. Lisa Bew with her first bucket. She is the leading scorer on this team, averaging almost 14 points a game. Don's lead is cut to 7 at 24-17. Long jumper is put up, rattles around and drops a 3 ball by Jonna Lewis-Carlisle. Well, the basket tried to cough it back up, but Jonna Lewis, I think, said that's too good a shot not to be rewarded.
Brought it back down.
Now here comes Bew. She spots up for the jumper. That's too strong. Battle for the rebound. Easily won by the 6'2" Lemnis. So now the Bison reset the offense. Jurdot, long jumper on the way by Slight. She misses. There's a foul called. And it looks like we'll have the first foul called on the Mastodons. Let's check it out. Well, we're trying to get the official to decide if he might have it on Nan Moore.
Nan Moore.
Yep, they're saying it is on Nan Moore. Well, we couldn't decide whether it was 22 or 23. And it was away from the ball, so Nan picks up her first personal. Don's first personal. Long jumper, that's off the front of the iron by Jurdot. And the rebound is grabbed by a hustling Jonna Lewis-Carlisle. Don's by 10. Just over 8.5 minutes to go. Jonna tries to kick the pass over to Williams, but she was out of control. And she gets it to Bew, but the ball is poked out of her hands by Nan Moore. A lot of hustle, both ends, both teams.
Really is. Going to the floor, going after the loose ball.
Dons have 4 turnovers in the game and 6 for North Dakota State. It's been a very well-played first half, very fast-paced first half.
And only 3 fouls called, and they played nearly 12 minutes.
And the Dons lead by 10, 27-17. Pass goes into Lemnis. She flies it back out to Moran. 3 on the way from the wing. No. Battle for the rebound. Great job of boxing out by the Dons. But no, the rebound was put back up by Emily Moran, so hard work underneath by Moran as she got a tough basket up through traffic, out battling the Dons. Starla Williams was working hard to block out. Now she gets the pass at the other end. Her jumper is a little too strong, and a rebound is grabbed by Jurdot. And now the Dons, who started out with the hot shooting, have gone just a little bit chilly. And let's see what the Bison can do on this trip down to draw to within even a closer gap. Dons once led by 12 points. Long jumper on the way, nothing but net for Bew. So Bew has her second 3-pointer, and all of a sudden it's 27-23, and Chris Paul wants a timeout to settle this team down.
Interesting stat on the Bison. They have 9 field goals, 8 assists.
Wow, that means they're working the ball.
Yeah. IPFW has 7 assists out of their 12 field goals.
Well, again, with 7:31 to go here in this first half, the Dons lead 27-23. They were up 24-12 just about 3 minutes ago, so it has been a good little run put up by the Bison. And again, don't forget, this is the first of a College 5 IPFW athletic doubleheader here tonight. First, the women, senior day here for the Dons, the season finale for the IPFW women. Tonight, men's volleyball. Right back here at Gates, 7 o'clock, IPFW taking on Cal Santa Barbara. Match 2 of the weekend doubleheader. Dons looking for some payback after they fell to the Gauchos last night in 3.
It was a great crowd here last night to watch the excellent volleyball.
And hopefully they come back.
Yeah.
Yep. They've come back a lot to see Ashley Johnson, and AJ just works down the lane, spots up, and hits the jumper. So that gives the Dons a 29-23. Lead pass goes down to Bew. She tries to throw it underneath for Lemnis, but threw it wildly into the cheerleading section. And we now have a timeout on the floor for a media timeout with 7:08 to go in this first half. IPFW leads North Dakota State 29-23. This is Mastodons basketball on College 5.
Totally changed my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Well, back at the Gate Center, there is the crafty senior Ashley Johnson, just finding some open space in the lane and hitting the open jumper. Chris Paul getting himself a drink of water.
The Dons need to keep that aggressive pressure on both offensively and defensively because North Dakota, good ball club.
Under 7 minutes to go. The pass goes down to Una. She is hounded by Lemnis. A dish to Ashley Johnson driving and goes in uncontested for the lay-in. There again is that great movement without the basketball. And whether it's an interior player or a guard spotting that cutter, they are making some great passes to just create easy shots. Dons back up by 8, 31-23. Cross-court pass comes to Bew. They go in the corner. Long jumper. That's off the mark by Moran. And the rebound is cleared out by the Dons. O'Connell leaves for AJ. Dons running the floor. Una's behind the defense. Goes for the layup, and she's got it.
A great look again, beating them down the floor.
And the Dons back up by 10, 33-23 at the 6:14 mark. What a great half of ball it's been so far for the Dons in the season finale. Now the pass comes up high to Slight. Jurdot, cross court. Long jumper on the way. That's a 3-ball, and that is good by Emily Moran. She now has 3 3-pointers. And that draws the Bison to within 7, 33-26. Johnson crosses over on her defender Moran. Little runner down the lane. Just jelly legs Moran. Moran was looking for a foul, saying that Ashley Johnson did a little bit of a forearm shiv, but AJ gets the bucket.
Ashley's one of the best there is at when she feels the body contact can still get off a good shot.
Of using it to her advantage, yes. Now Slight up high. Leaves for Bew. Bew down the lane. Little runner teeters around the rim. No. And the rebound is grabbed by Jonna Lewis Carlisle. 35-26 in favor of the Dons. JLC for AJ down the lane. She spots up back to Jonna Lewis. 3 on the way. No, it glances off the rim and goes out of bounds. And Julianne Una thought she was being held by Jenna Lemnis. Doc, you pointed this out when we were in the last break. The referees are clearly letting them play. Only 3 total fouls in this half.
Yeah.
Liselott Malfay checks in for the Dons, her first appearance. It looks like we're about to have Courtney Reed check in at the next stoppage. Again, some modest backcourt pressure. Jurdot picked up by Malfay, who now goes down into the block. They come up high to Danny Heinzelman, across to Bew. Cross court it goes. Jurdot, 3 from the wing, off the rim, high off the glass. They battle for the board, and it's collected by the Bison. On the floor it goes, and the Dons almost come up with the steal. Here comes Jurdot, cut off by Ashley Johnson. Now they get it down, spotting up from 14 is Heinzelman, and she gets the friendly roll from the rim. First bucket for Heinzelman, and now it's 35-28. Just under 4.5 to go. Open is Una from the baseline, rolls off, chased down by Malfay. Underneath in traffic, she goes up, misses the shot, draws the foul.
That was a nice move because good hustle to get the rebound. Then she goes back up strong, gets the foul.
Danny Heinzelman collects the first foul that she has drawn in this game. Only the third on North Dakota State. The Dons have just 1, and at the 4:21 mark, this is the first time anybody has shot a free throw. In and out, the first attempt by Malfay. Courtney Reed will check in for John Lewis Carlisle, who came off the bench and electrified the offense with 8 quick points. Kayla Dowling checks in for North Dakota State, and Jurdot will take a rest. Malfay, the 6'3 freshman out of Belgium, and she has the second. Well, at least a lot of 60% free thrower. Dons now with the 36-28 lead. They are not applying any backcourt pressure this time. And now Emily Moran is running the point for the Bison with Jurdot taking a rest. She takes a look, snaps the pass over to Heinzelman. Heinzelman gets it down to Dowling. Now they work it down low. Boy, they are banging bodies all over the place, and Jerry Penley was doubled by Malfay and Una, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be retained by North Dakota State with 12 on the shot clock. 3 ticks, over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Well, where are they going to go with the ball? It was flipped into Penley, but that quickly batted out of her hands by Una, and now the shot clock is down to 11. Moran will trigger again under her own basket. Takes a look, flips it out to Bew. And as Ashley Johnson was battling Bew, she just basically floors her, so AJ has the first foul. And
well, it was aggressive, and I don't think Chris will mind a foul like that.
And I think you're right, Doc. I think AJ figures, hey, we've only had 1 team foul. She hasn't had any. She's going to maybe send a bit of a message.
Yeah.
Women's basketball is a physical game. Now Bew is doubled. She rarely gets out of that trap. They get it over to Moran. Dons are playing outstanding defense. Long jumper from the deep corner, and that is a 2 as Dowling had a foot on the floor. So that cuts the Dons lead to 36-30. Driving down the lane, the little runner. Oh, it was a wide open shot by AJ, but in fact it bounced so strongly off the back of the iron it came right back to her, and she collected the rebound. Leaves for Courtney Reed. Now Reed to O'Connell. O'Connell bumps off of her defender Moran, leaves for AJ. AJ down the lane, leaves for Courtney Reed. Reed starts her drive, spots up for the jumper. Good.
Nice move.
Courtney Reed with the off-balance J, but the freshman from Fort Laramie, Ohio, drills it from 14. Dons go back up 38-30. Now there's a little bit of that pressure, just to annoy the Bison, maybe throw their offense off tempo. Moran directing some traffic. As she dribbles to her right, now she takes the return pass from Heinzelman. 3 on the way, and Emily Moran has her 4th three-pointer of the first half. 38-33. Now AJ working on Moran, kicks it out. Malfay thinks about the shot, no, has Heinzelman over her, drives on her, and we're going to have a foul on Heinzelman. That would be her second, the 4th on North Dakota State. And we have timeout on the floor with 2 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the opening half. Dons lead the Bison 38-33. This is IPFW women's basketball on College 5.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Warning, ruthless invaders are among us, and the future of fishing depends on stopping them dead. Only you can prevent invasive species from spreading before it's too late. Inspect, clean, and drain your boat, motor, and wells, and properly dispose of invasive species on land, not back in the water. Stop these evil menaces from taking over and threatening our precious outdoor heritage. Inspect, clean, and drain. Do your part to halt the silent invasion.
Dave Skelton and Ken Horman back at the Gate Center. Ashley Johnson driving, dishing to Courtney Reed. And Reed, how about that little runner from about 14 feet? And you saw a quick shot of the IPFW men's volleyball team in attendance in this afternoon tilt. Tonight, the men in action here at the Gate Center, 7 o'clock, against number 4, Cal Santa Barbara. Dons lost to the Gauchos in 3 last night, but it really was closer than that.
Yeah, all 3 games were good games.
Quick inbounds pass goes to Una, and the red-hot Julianne Una knocks down the short jumper. She has 10 points off the bench. 40-33, Dons by 7. Bew leaves the ball for Moran. She directs some traffic as she dribbles to her right. Comes up high to Slight. Slight got off to a hot start, but hasn't really touched the ball much since. 3-ball attempt that time is off the mark by Moran. They battle for the rebound. Una had the basketball, but she eventually was tied up by Jerry Penley. Chris Paul either wanted to time out or Julianne to get rid of the basketball, but the jump ball gives the ball back to North Dakota State on alternate possession. Moran now triggers under her own basket. Quick pass. Goes to Bew. It's off the mark. They battle for the rebound, and eventually coming away with it is Una. Julianne's having a great first half. Ahead to Reed. Now Reed will slow it down a bit. Bounce pass goes to Malfe. Up high to Una. She feels it. She's got it. Julianne Una.
And it's the most aggressive I've ever seen her on the offensive end of the court. She's looking for the shot.
Chris Paul had a kind of a bemused look on his face. I'm not sure if I've seen Julianne take a shot from that far out this season. But sometimes you just feel it, and she is feeling it. Long jumper on the way. That's off the mark by Bew, and Jonna Lewis Carlisle almost tramples her own teammate. John's rebound. 12 points for Una off the bench in the first half. We're under a minute and a half to go in the first half. So the Dons are going to work clock. They've led by as many as a dozen. The lead is now 9 again. AJ, little runner, that's off the mark. She was trying to draw some body contact, and as the rebound is hauled down by Penley, unfortunately, Johnson draws her second personal foul. Una will now take a rest, and Sam Edwards comes in. They have to get Johnson out of there for this last minute 15 since she drew that second personal.
Yeah.
And here comes Nan Moore to replace AJ.
Might have been tempted to leave Una in there and tell her, you got to finish. Keep shooting.
Well, and I think Julianne did not want to come out. I think they needed the shepherd's hook to get her out of there, but what a first half for Una. Now Slight, long jumper from the wing. It's a 3-ball, and she's got it. Well, just when we said that Slight hadn't been heard from for a while, she answers with, oh yes, here I am, and knocks down the 3-ball to make it a 6-point game under a minute to go. Malfe, great ball fake, drives, contact, bodies flying everywhere. The shot's off the mark. On they play, and the rebound is controlled by Penley. Now the ball comes ahead to Moran. 42 seconds to go. Jurdot, who's back in the game, is cut off by Jonna Lewis Carlisle. 3 on the way from Moran. Yes.
Boy, she releases that ball very quickly.
5 3-pointers in this first half for Emily Moran. It's now down to a 3-point Don lead with 23 seconds to go. Dons will play for the last shot of the half. So unless something really bizarre happens, they should at least take the lead into the locker room at halftime. Jonna Lewis Carlisle working on Jurdot, drives, and she's blocked that time. What a tremendous block.
And they may have called a foul.
By Penley. I believe you're right, Doc. I believe they got Penley for a foul, and you are correct. Penley has her first personal foul. 10 seconds to go in the first half. And Chris Paul is a little bit upset because, he claimed that Penley put the foot into Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Free throw is good. Chris Paul is upset. He claims that after Penley blocked that ball and do the body contact, here it is again. Let's see if she puts a little bit of a foot in her. Well, not sure. She hits that one as well.
Yeah.
Looked like she was just kind of sliding her leg around her, so.
Trying to find that next step.
Maybe Chris was.
It looked like it.
Yeah. But I think it was not an intentional kick on any part by Penley. Now under 10 seconds to go. Here comes Moran driving, kicks it out. Jurdot, 3 on the way. Yes. Just before the buzzer with 3 seconds to go, Jurdot hits a 3-ball. That'll do it. What a first half of basketball. Both teams red hot from the floor. IPFW led by as many as 12. North Dakota State, though, with a late rally, and we close out the opening 20 minutes of wild basketball. IPFW leading North Dakota State 44-42. It's halftime. We'll be back with more. This is Mastodon Basketball on College 5.
I go to class and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's gotta feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Nothing gets my blood pumping more than a packed stadium, fans cheering, and the swish of a perfect basket. When I was diagnosed with colon cancer, it became an eerie silence. Early detection helped me, and it can help you too. Today, colon cancer can be treated with minimally invasive surgery, which will get you back in the game sooner than open surgery. I want you to meet my friend, Dr. Michael Harris, who's joined me in the fight.
Good one, Coach. Each year, more than 145,000 Americans will be diagnosed with colon cancer. It's the second largest cancer killer in the United States, but it doesn't have to be. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and if found early enough, beatable. If you are over 50 or have a family history of colon cancer, speak to your doctor, get screened, and understand your treatment options. Heads up, Coach.
Visit mybluestar.org and pass it on.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam. Ewa.
Rita. Apa pa? Pa.
Mir. Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen. Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding
La Fei.
around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Five halftime here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center on the campus of IPFW. And in the season finale for the women's basketball team, the Mastodons on top of North Dakota State here at halftime by the score of 44-42. It really was kind of a seesaw game, pretty even during the opening 5 minutes and change. The teams trading baskets from both inside and outside. It was a 9-9 game. The Dons went on a big run and actually led 24-12 with about 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Bison rallied to draw to within 4 points, and then the Dons opened it back up to a 10-point lead, but another late rally by North Dakota State down the stretch of this first half during the last minute and change, led by a bevy of three-pointers, has drawn the Bison to within 2 after the first 20 minutes at 44-42. And it's just been one of these games where I think from the opening tip, IPFW came out red hot, as did North Dakota State. And I tell you, Doc, it's the kind of basketball you like to see. Up and down.
Yeah.
Hey, the referees let them play. There was contact, no question, at both ends, especially underneath the basket. I'm not sure if I'm trying to think of the appropriate wording. I guess I would say it's clean contact. It's just the physicality that is basketball, even at the women's game. These ladies are going to bump into each other, and you pointed out about Ashley Johnson that during the course of her career, she seems to be pretty crafty, kind of nifty at when she draws that contact. She uses it to her advantage.
Yeah, she really does.
That's why she's one of the top 10 scorers in the history of this program. But again, the referees let them play consistently throughout the half. Just a handful of fouls were called on both teams. IPFW really only had, 3 fouls to 5 fouls for North Dakota State. And I think really the name of the game was the fact that IPFW, very, very good defense, which turned into outstanding offense and good balance.
Yeah, and if North Dakota didn't have that three-point shot, they could be in trouble.
Yes, North Dakota State really turned it on in that down to the stretch of the first half, hitting a lot of three-pointers. And if you take a look at some of the first half numbers, we'll get into them more deeply during this halftime report. But clearly the three-pointer kind of made or break the situation with North Dakota State, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2. It really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of a modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by IPFW. That is great. You'll take that any day, and only 7 for North Dakota State. And really, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by IPFW. That is great. You'll take that any day. And the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by IPFW. With North Dakota State, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by IPFW. That is great. You'll take that any day, and only 7 for North Dakota State, and really, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by kind of made or break the situation with North Dakota State, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by break the situation with North Dakota State, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by IPFW. That is great. You'll take that any day, and only 7 for North the gap to 2. It really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by turnovers for IPFW. That is great, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by kind of made or break the situation with North Dakota State, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by kind of made or break the situation with North Dakota State, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by break the situation with North Dakota State, and especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2, it really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by IPFW. That is great. You'll take that any day, and only 7 for North the gap to 2. It really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by IPFW. That is great. You'll take it, especially down the stretch when they closed the gap to 2. It really made the Bison 10 out of 18 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed by the fact that they've hit 16 field goals and had 15 assists.
Yeah. Turnovers were really kind of the modest amount, which is what coaches like to see just by turnovers for IPFW. That is great. You'll take that any day, and only 7 for North Dakota State. And really, they tightened up securing the basketball in the latter 10 minutes of the half. They made some careless passes in the opening 10 minutes. I think the bulk of their turnovers were in the first part of this half.
Yeah, after they settled down, they took good care of the ball.
Well, Chris Paul, as he's talking to his players, has to be very happy about the way this game has unfolded so far, because the Dons are looking to avenge a loss earlier in the season back on February 8th in Fargo. IPFW lost to this team by 17 points. It was 89-72, so obviously so far through 20 minutes a much better game for Chris Paul.
Yeah, and 44-42 at halftime is a lot of points.
Well, we are at halftime. There you see the Gate Center, 44-42. The Dons on top of the Bison. We'll take a break and be back with more of the halftime report. This is Dons basketball on College 5.
I've gone away to a college where the class size is small.
I've gone away to a college with a beautiful campus.
I've gone away to a college that cares about diversity.
I've gone away to a college where I get to live in my own apartment instead of living in a dorm room.
I've gone away to a college that really isn't that far away at all.
I go to IPFW.
IPFW.
I go to IPFW.
To find out more about college life at IPFW, go to Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Living with diabetes is the pits. When I wake up, the first thing I have to do is check my blood sugar. I just want to feel like all the other kids without pricking my fingers or injecting myself with insulin. Diabetes is rough on my whole family. When I was diagnosed, my mom couldn't stop crying. But imagine a cure.
Right now, as many as 3 million children and adults are living with type 1 diabetes. They will never outgrow it. Some will face complications like kidney failure, blindness, and heart disease. That's why the science the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation is supporting is so critical. Imagine a cure.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I hope you're saving the extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
Oh no, buns.
And CDs.
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch, just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Back at the Gate Center, IPFW leading North Dakota State 44-42 in the season finale for the women's basketball team, along with Dave Skelton, Ken Horman here on College 5. Now, Doc, we've got some first half highlights and numbers to look at, and quite a half it was for the Mastodons, as both teams, I thought, shot the basketball really, very, very well, but especially the Dons, 54%.
Yeah, they can't do much better than that.
And here is one of the key players and one of the key seniors, Ashley Johnson. She missed the first one, but it was tipped out by Starla Williams, who was very active underneath. Sam Edwards hitting that one. Again, the Dons doing a great job of moving the ball around. Look at the ball movement when you've got a lot of touches. Another one of the outgoing seniors, Pavla Pakova, an early three from the top of the key. And back the other way, the Bison, well, they can hit some shots as well. How about Emily Moran? All she did in the first half was can 5 3-pointers. AJ, again, not timid. I don't care how tall you are. She'll take it right to the iron. There was a left-handed lay-in. Now the ball goes into Starla Williams. She got into the act, turned around and spotted up. Again, the Dons with good passing, just setting up good offense. Another good player for the Bison, Brenda Slight. She also had a good first half. But the Dons were hitting from everywhere. Here's AJ again.
Yeah, the Dons have had 9 players score in the first half.
O'Connell leaves for Jonna Lewis Carlisle. She knocks down the jumper. And here comes Nan Moore. Again, look at this, and a great pass. Here's the story for the Dons in the first half. Julianne Una, who had a tremendous first half with 12 points. But again, every time the Dons tried to build a double-digit lead, it was answered by North Dakota State. And here's Una again working on one of the bigs. Look at that move underneath as she gets past Jerry Penley. Well, AJ can score. All these guards can score, but just a lot of unselfishness. Jonna Lewis Carlisle again coming off the screen. Una scores again. Down low, it's Slight. She got the bulk of her points from right in there, that 2-foot range.
Yeah, she's about the only person that was scoring inside for North Dakota.
And that was Moran over to Lisa Bew. There's John Lewis Carlisle saying, hey, wait a second, this is my home rim. I can't lose that bucket.
She scored twice on that shot.
Once again, the red-hot Emily Moran. She gets the friendly roll, one of her 5 3-pointers. Both these teams is moving the ball around very well. There's Bew.
Yeah, they find the open player.
And there is just a great pass again by Una to a cutting Ashley Johnson. And then look at this pass again to Una behind the defense, calling for the ball. Doc, you pointed this out during break. This is probably one of Julianne's best games, I guess saving the best for last. But Moran always seemed to have a 3-ball in her pocket to answer with. There's AJ again, drawing the contact, sending Moran to the floor, but knocking down the runner.
One of the amazing things about Julianne in this first half is she's really been running the floor full length, getting out in front of the break. She's been going.
There's a jumper knocked down by Kayla Dolan, but the Dons. Malfay, look at that good pass, and again spotting up for the jumper is Una. She was feeling it. Dons at one point led by a dozen, but shots like that again by Brenda Slight, who had a hot first half. The Bison continued to rally. Another long 3-ball by Moran, and then there's Moran kicking the pass out. Now this illustrates 16 of 35 were the Bison, 19 of 35 were the Dons. Field goal percentage, both good, 46 for the Bison, 54% for IPFW. Then look at that 3-point number, 10 out of 18 from behind the arc for North Dakota State, 3 of 6 for the Dons. Free throws, well, there weren't many fouls, so not many free throws, none. There wasn't a single Bison player who went to the charity stripe, 3 for 4 for the Dons. And Doc, you pointed this out. Look at the assists, 15 for North Dakota State, 11 for IPFW, a great assist-to-turnover ratio.
Really, when you see both teams with a better than 2-to-1 ratio on their assists over turnovers, they're taking good care of the basketball. 15 assists for the Bison, just 7 turnovers, 11 assists for the Dons, just 5 turnovers. IPFW winning the rebounding battle through the first 20 minutes, 19-16. North Dakota State with 3 steals and 1 for IPFW. And we can take a look at some of the individual numbers. Emily Moran, these are all 3-pointers, 15 points. Brenda Slight has 11, Lisa Bew has 6. And for the Dons, look at the great balance there. Julianne Una, 12 points. John Lewis Carlisle, 10. Ashley Johnson with 8. And we've got 20 minutes to go. We'll see if the Dons can turn it on in the second half. This is Mastodon basketball on College 5.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
When it comes to dogs, cats, and kids, sharing just comes naturally. They share their toys, their beds, even their favorite snacks. But pets and people can share other things as well, like these. Zoonotic diseases are illnesses that can be transmitted from animals to humans, like leptospirosis, or diseases that affect both people and pets, like Lyme disease. Fortunately, you can help reduce the risk by visiting your veterinarian. Your veterinarian can help protect against zoonotic disease and potentially harmful parasites. Most important, a wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can help detect, treat, or prevent health problems before they become serious. So share affection, not illness, and ask your veterinarian about zoonotic disease protection for all your loved ones. A message from the American Veterinary Medical Association and your local veterinarians.
Each year, more than 145,000 Americans.
Set to start the second half. IPFW inbounds the basketball. Sam Edwards to John Lewis Carlisle. Now Ashley Johnson just loses her defender and goes for the layup. She's got the basket and draw the personal foul. What a start for the Dons in the opening 7 seconds of the second half.
She didn't hesitate, and the defender for North Dakota State, Lemus, just reached out. She says, what is that?
Lemnis draws her second personal. AJ completes the three-point play, and just that quickly, it's 47-42 in favor of IPFW. Boy, there's the start Chris Paul likes to see.
Yeah, the Dons needed that.
Dons trying to avenge a 17-point loss to these Bison back early February. Boy, going up and just forcing the issue is Jurdot. They're going to call it on Jonna Lewis Carlisle. And that'll be her first personal. Now Chris Paul is a little bit upset with Tina Clark. That time, you talk about initiating the contact, Jurdot really did and drew the foul. Jurdot is a 60% free thrower. This is the first time a North Dakota State player has been to the free throw line, and it comes 22 seconds into the second half. Jurdot hit. And Chris Paul still working the officials a little bit, saying, look, my player just stood flat-footed with their arms straight up, and Jurdot jumped into her, but usually the offensive player does get the benefit of that call. Now the ball goes down into Uno, had a great first half. There's that little swim move again. This time it rings around and comes out. Tough break for Julianne, who was on fire in the first half with 12 points.
Well, that shot was on target. It just didn't go in.
Now Bew drives baseline, gets past her defender O'Connell and lays it in. And don't look now, here come the Bison down 47-46. Dons led by as many as 12 in the first half, really had a double-digit lead most of the way. Runner put up by Johnson off the mark, but a foul is called against North Dakota State. Looks like they have Moran with her second personal foul. Well, we've barely played a minute of the second half. We've already had more fouls called than we almost did the entire first half.
Yeah, we were about 12 minutes into the first half with one foul on IPFW and two on North Dakota.
Ashley Johnson has the first free throw, rattle in and out. AJ, second one on the way, yes. 48-46, the Dons now by a pair, again applying some full court pressure. Moran ahead to Jurdot. Well, the Dons defense backs off now. Now here comes Amanda Jurdot. Goes across to Moran, loop it down into Lemnis. Lemnis. They're going to call a foul on Una, and again, Chris Paul thought it was going to be a travel. I think not. Maybe they got Sam Edwards on the help defense.
They got Sam that time. Reach-in foul.
Well, a disgusted look, quite honestly, on the face of Chris Paul, and you probably heard him. He said you could call the travel before the foul. Well, this early indication are this second half might be officiated a little differently than it was the first. There's a little runner on the baseline. It's knocked down by Bew, and we are tied at 48 at the 18:26 mark of the second half. When I say officiated a little differently, I don't mean any kind of bias. I just mean they're going to maybe call it more tightly than they did in the first half because they let them play in the opening 20 minutes. Jonna Lewis Carlisle, ball fake, dishes to Johnson, but it goes out of her hands, right into the hands of Slight. Ahead it comes to Bew. The Bison with the chance to take the lead. Jurdot, now top of the key, takes a look. Goes across to Bew. Bew with O'Connell, gets it down low. Jurdot working on Johnson, gets underneath the basket, throws a wild pass past Lemnis, right into the hands that time of Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Now here comes Ashley Johnson. AJ to JLC, three ball on the way, yes! Jonna Lewis Carlisle, her third three-pointer.
And that one was a line drive.
51-48. Dons go up by three again. Now here comes Jurdot. Over to Moran. Moran taking a look on Johnson. She just puts up the triple off the front of the rim. Una fends off Lemnis.
Nice box out, yeah. She blocked out very nicely.
Now Jonna Lewis Carlisle to Ashley Johnson, and they'll draw a personal foul that time on Moran. She's got her third, so Amy Ruley, the coach of the Bison, I believe, will have to make a change.
You got a tough decision to make, that's
Well, that is a big situation for the Dons. Moran and her 5 3-pointers will have to take a seat. And checking in will be Megan Shea. First appearance by the freshman out of Plymouth, Minnesota. Ball is bounced into Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Up high to Una. Julianne leaves, sets the screen. Jumper good. Jonna Lewis Carlisle, boy, again, what a great give and go that time as
And like the first half, she came in and quickly got 5 points in the first half when she came in, and now she's had the last 5.
And Una setting a brilliant screen and leaving the pass right for Jana to set up the open jumper. Now an entry pass goes to Lemnis. She gets past Una, misses the shot. Julianne with the rebound. Ahead to Jana Lewis-Carlisle. Bounce pass to a cutting O'Connell. She goes for the lay-in. Missed the shot. They battle for the rebound. They'll get Edwards with an over-the-back foul. Well, Hillary O'Connell just couldn't quite finish on the break. And there'll be another change for the Bison. Going out is Lemnis, and checking in is Penley. And you exchange 6'2" for 6'2", so they don't lose any height when they have that substitution.
Well, Penley made a nice contribution in the first half when she was in.
Now Jurdot, she surveys the situation, gets it to Bew. Bew, long 3-ball. No. Rebound, though, is grabbed by Shea in the backside. She tried to throw the ball off a Mastodon, missed. The shot by Shea was missed. Another rebound, that time by the Bison, and a foul called against IPFW. Let's see who they have.
Yeah, it's on Ashley Johnson. That's unfortunate, because I think that's her third.
That is 3 on AJ, so 2 of the premier guards on each team have their third personal foul. Moran just sat down when she drew her third personal. Ashley Johnson has 3 now for the Dons, and Lisa Bew, 75% free thrower at the line for the first time. Hits the first. Nan Moore comes in for Hillary O'Connell. Hannah Tiki will come in for Ashley Johnson. Hannah can shoot the long ball.
And she's pretty hard-nosed on the defense. So
she
can
hard-nosed on the defense.
Yeah.
You're right, Doc. It was a moving screen. My goodness.
Yeah.
And Sam Edwards has her third personal. Wow.
Both players felt that one.
Well, again, an interesting call, and now Tina Moen will have to come in for Edwards. Sam really can't believe that call, and Chris Paul very, very vocal right along the sideline. And to kind of reaffirm his point, he was yelling solid screen, but the Dons did not get that call. They have 5 team fouls already here in the second half, and we're just now at the 16-minute mark.
North Dakota State looks like the kind of team you don't want to put them at the free throw line.
I think you're exactly right, Doc. Now Shea tries to drive, and there'll be a blocking foul called against Hannah Tiki. Now 6 team fouls on the Dons in this half.
And they're going to be on the 1-and-1, the next foul.
Next one. We've got timeout on the floor. 15:54 to go in the second half. Dons lead North Dakota State 53-50. This is Dons basketball in College 5.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Now back at the Gate Center as we return the Dons lead, trimmed to 3, and there's a great play with Una setting the screen, leaving the ball for Jonna Lewis-Carlisle, who spots up to knock down the open jumper, but Chris Paul spending a lot of that time out discussing some of the calls with the officials, most notably that last one, where Sam Edwards called for an illegal screen that drew her third personal foul. Now the ball goes down to Penley. She just backs in on Una. Una holds her ground. This time the travel is called on Jerry Penley, so if anything, perhaps Coach Paul's politicking helped during that timeout. And Amy Ruley, the coach of the Bison, not exactly pleased with that last call, but now Chris is right in front of us working on Tina Clark. Dons lead by 3, have the basketball. Carlisle lobs the ball into Tina Moen. Moen, as the ball is tipped away on the pass out of bounds, last touch by the Bison, so Nan Moore will inbound. Gives it to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Right now it's Moore, Tiki Carlisle, Tina Moen, and Julianne Una. And Jonna Lewis Carlisle drives the lane, draws all sorts of contact and a foul. And it looks like they're going to get Lisa Bew. That'll be Bew's first, and that will send Jonna Lewis Carlisle to the free throw line. She's a 67% free thrower, is 2 for 2 so far in this game.
Well, driving the lane has been very effective for IPFW today.
And here's Jonna again, little crossover. That got them in all sorts of trouble, and Bew with the reach in. And Jonna has her 4th free throw. Dons go back up by 5, 55-50, and they'll apply some full court pressure. Penley comes back to Jurdot, and the Dons will back off on the defense, but it's just to eat about 5 or 6 seconds off that shot clock, and again, just to try to annoy the Bison, maybe throw off their offensive set briefly.
Yeah, make them think about taking care of the ball rather than coming down and looking for where the opening is.
Now Shea comes up to Slight. Slight 3-pointers off the mark, and Penley reaches over Una.
Over the back.
That'll be a foul on Penley, and that will be her 2nd. So the Dons with 16 fouls here in the second half, and that is the 5th for North Dakota State. We've played a second to more than 5 minutes of this second half. Dons up by 5. Much different game than it was February 8th in Fargo when the Dons lost by 17. Pass to Una, why not? She feels it good.
There she is.
Julianne Una, having the best game of her Mastodon career.
She finds a spot down there in the baseline and just waits for the ball. Whoa, yeah.
Yep. You talked about how Hannah Tiki will play some aggressive defense,
yeah.
And more or less she just laid the wood to Penley, and Tiki has her 2nd personal. Well, I guess to say if you're going to collect the foul, you might as well get your foul's worth. But
she didn't get shortchanged.
That does put North Dakota State in the 1-1. Penley a 52% free thrower. Bison so far in the game are 4 for 4. And no, it's off the mark. Rebound was poked away, but into the hands of Una. And here come the Dons, 14.5 to go in the second half. The ball and a 7-point lead. Carlisle leads for Tiki. She likes that 3 ball. No, off the rim. Boy, and Hannah has that pure stroke, but misfires there, and the rebound controlled by the Bison. Shea leaves for Jurdot. Jurdot guarded by Nan Moore. She puts up a little runner. That's off the rim. Moen tries to battle for the rebound, can't secure it. And that time when Bew got the ball, she is popped by Nan Moore. Much more physical second half, especially foul-wise. And here come the Bison again, shooting a 1-1.
Yeah, much more aggressive, a lot more fouls being called. Plus, fatigue may be setting in a little bit. Everybody was fresher earlier in the game.
Bew, who's 2 for 2. Averages 14 points a game, and she's about there with 12 tonight. Free throw is good. It's a good-looking team, Doc. You talked about this at the start of the broadcast. They have a victory this year over a Big Ten team, Minnesota. 13-11 coming into this game. And Bew is true, going 2 for 2. And now it's 57-52. The Dons lead down to 5. Carlisle crosses over on Bew, hoists up the long shot. That's off the mark. And they battle for the rebound, and coming away with it is Jurdot. Dons are trying to tie that up for a jump. Now Jurdot looks right, goes left, now comes back up high. And Jurdot leaves for Shea. They try to lob it down to Penley. Penley in a lot of traffic. Looked like she walked. No, misses the first shot, gets the rebound for the second. And let's see what we have. The officials look at each other. I think they're going to call a foul on IPFW.
Yeah. On
Tiki. Well, Hannah has her 3rd personal. And that's the 9th team foul on the Dons. So here comes Penley to shoot a 1-1. She missed her earlier trip to front end. She's just a 52% free thrower, but at the 13:35 mark, the next foul on the Dons will have North Dakota State shooting the bonus, the double bonus, the rest of the way.
Yeah, and that could be a factor.
Free throw is good by Penley, so she'll get the bonus.
Well, she's 1 for 2, and that's just about her season average. So we'll see what she does with this one.
And Chris Paul again is really working the officials. Second free throw is good. He rather pointed out to Tina Clark, it's kind of tough to go from one block to the other without dribbling. Reed, I thought that was a travel before the foul. Now Nan Moore dishes to Una. Una has her shot blocked that time by Shea.
They've learned that Julianne likes that ball over there.
Well, Megan Shea, the 6-foot freshman out of Plymouth, Minnesota, has had to come in to spell Moran when she drew her third personal foul earlier in this half. Una takes a return pass from Moore, back out to Nan. 3 on the way, no. Rebound is corralled by Brenda Slight. And here come the Bison with the chance to tie with either a three-pointer or a three-point play. They trail 57-54 as the clock winds down to the 13-minute mark. Shea comes deep into the corner. They get it down low, but the ball is poked away and intercepted by the Dons. Kiki. Ball comes ahead now to Nan Moore. Nan with a little runner off the glass. No, ball is tipped back out, but controlled by the Bison. Here comes Amanda Jurdot. Now Jurdot will back it out, and they'll set up the half-court offense. Jurdot directs some traffic, trying to get her teammates set. Slight, catch and shoot for 3.
Oh my.
Banks it in. She didn't call it, but it counts. Slight with the three-pointer.
She even looked like, okay, you know.
Well, did they call that a 2? I think maybe they called that a 2 instead.
Yeah, they must have.
It is a 2, so it's 57-56. Dons still lead by 1. Kind of a late call by the official, who then held out 2 fingers. Now Jonna Lewis Carlisle on the wing, takes a look, gets it down into Moen. Moen goes up, is blocked by Penley, and the ball is grabbed by Megan Shea. Well, the Bison have tightened up their defense. They have blocked a couple of Mastodon shots the last few trips down, but there is an errant pass by Shea that went nowhere except out of bounds. Well, Julianne Una will check out. Sam Edwards checks in. Nan Moore gets a rest, and Courtney Reed.
The Dons are a little smaller now on the lineup. Tina and Sam are going to have to take the inside chores and go to work.
Yeah, with Una getting a rest. Here's Courtney Reed, the freshman out of Fort Laramie, Ohio, leaving for Tiki, another freshman. Now to Carlisle. They lob it down low, but nobody was down there to catch the pass, and it was easily intercepted by Penley. Well, North Dakota State has a chance to take the lead on this trip. Megan Shea comes up to Heinzelman. They try to lob it down low to Penley, but it was poked away by Moen.
Yeah.
And a battle for the ball between Shea and Carlisle. Goes off Carlisle and out of bounds, and we have a timeout on the floor. 11 and a half minutes to go in the second half. The Dons lead the Bison 57-56. IPFW basketball on College 5.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam.
Hey, what? Hey there. Apa? Pa. Mir.
Shanti.
Yep, Changyok di.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen.
Lucky.
Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding
La Fe.
around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Back at the Gate Center, there's a look at the IPFW men's volleyball team. They'll be in action tonight at 7 o'clock when the Dons take on UC Santa Barbara. Match 2 of the weekend doubleheader between the two teams. UC Santa Barbara won last night in 3. That match tonight here on College 5 at 7 o'clock. Now the Bison inbound the ball coming out of the timeout. The Dons put Ashley Johnson back in the game at the 11:25 mark with 3 fouls. There's an open look for a 3 ball. It rattles around and it's off the mark by Dowling. And the ball is batted out of bounds. Last touch by a Bison player. So the Dons get the basketball back. We're going to have a foul call.
Yeah, foul called on 52.
On Heinzelman for a push. That's her third personal. Well, we talked about how Chris Paul has spent a lot of time, and now he's demonstrating to the officials a block out, or maybe an illegal block out. I think Amy Ruley's going to have to answer for the Bison. Now Courtney Reed drives the lane, puts up the runner, banks it off the glass, and good.
Nice job.
A bucket the Dons needed. Courtney Reed gives them a 3-point lead. Under 11 minutes to play in the second half. Una will check in at the next stoppage after a rest. Heinzelman comes up high. Dowling gets it into the corner. Bew, Heinzelman bounces off of Moen, puts up the shot, misses, but a foul should be called on Tina Moen, and it is Moen's first.
I would guess that we'll see Moran back in there before too long for North Dakota State. She's been out a while with her third foul.
Heinzelman goes to the free throw line for a pair, rattles it down. Una will check in for Moen. Danny Heinzelman, 6'1" senior out of Alberta, Minnesota. But with 10 team fouls on the Dons, the Bison will be shooting 2 free throws the remainder of the game. Second one is good by Heinzelman. And now it's 59-58. Dons with a 1-point lead. 10:40 to go in the second half. Ashley Johnson spins down the lane, puts up the one-handed runner. No, it's off the mark. Boy, that was a good move by AJ.
Yeah.
Rebound was cleared by Bew, and here comes Jurdot. Bison looking to take the lead, but no, the pass is intercepted by Jonna Lewis-Carlisle. 2-on-1, ahead to AJ. She lays it in. What a great play by Jonna Lewis-Carlisle. First the steal, then the drive and dish. Johnson with another bucket. Dons back up 3. Jurdot gets the ball down low to Penley. She bangs off of Una, goes underneath. No, they battle for the rebound. It'll be tied up with Sam Edwards. And alternate possession gives the ball still to North Dakota State. And Chris Paul thought there should have been a hook called on Penley prior to that tie-up. 10:10 to go, and number 10 will inbound. Jurdot flips it out high to Heinzelman. Return to Jurdot, who triggers this offense from the point, comes across to Kayla Dowling. Now back up to Heinzelman. Across to Jurdot, working on Edwards. Bew gets AJ off her feet, spots up for the jumper. No. Rebound, they battle for it. Heinzelman and Una, last touched by Heinzelman. And now you have Coach Amy Ruley all over the officiating crew. So the Dons get that call. Well, I'll tell you, we have a political science class going on out here right now with Chris Paul and Amy Ruley working these officials. Fans on their feet here at the Gate Center. Dons with the ball, a 3-point lead, 9:42 to go in the second half. Courtney Reed coming off an Ashley Johnson screen, but no, leaves for Jonna Lewis-Carlisle. JLC spots up for the runner. Yes! What a bucket by Jonna Lewis-Carlisle, and it's back to a 5-point lead, 63-58.
Now the Dons got to try to keep that margin instead of letting it slip back down every time.
Pass goes to Bew, and Bew travels. Little stutter step right there, and now some turnovers are plaguing the Bison. Now here comes Emily Moran back in, and here comes Brenda Slight, 2 of the key offensive players.
Yeah, I thought sometime around the 10-minute mark, and we're under the 10-minute mark now. They're back.
Megan Shea comes in. Well, you have Moran with 15 points and Slight with 13. That was 28 points that was on the bench.
Yeah.
So here come the Dons trying to up a 5-point lead. They've led by as many as 12. North Dakota State has had it down to 1. Oh, Ashley Johnson has the ball poked away.
And she got her 4th foul.
Do they get AJ or do they get Courtney Reed? Let's see. They get AJ. You are correct.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul is beside himself. She just flat out lost the basketball.
Yeah.
And draws her 4th personal foul. And now decision time for Chris Paul with 9 minutes and 9 seconds to go. He surveys his bench and goes to Hillary O'Connell. Moran will shoot a pair of free throws. She's not been to the line in this game. 75% free thrower. Has that one rattle off the rim, and no. So at the 9:09 mark, Ashley Johnson is out. Let's see when she returns. Hillary O'Connell is back in. How about Moran doubling her season point average? Hits that free throw. Only averaged 7.5.
Yeah, she's had a good night.
Big night with 16 points. Hillary O'Connell, they need some good minutes out of her. Dishes to Una. Una with the baseline jumper. Yes! Julianne Una.
Just get me the ball, she said. Just get me the ball.
And she, like Samantha Edwards, likes that baseline jumper.
Yeah.
65-59 Dons. This could be one of the signature wins of the season for IPFW, and what a way it would be to close out the season. It's already been a record-setting season for Chris Paul. Moran wants something to say about that. Puts up the 3-ball, misses. Underneath, we have a push that I believe is called on North Dakota State. That will be on Penley. That's her third personal, and more importantly, it's the 7th on North Dakota State, so now we go to the other end, and IPFW will shoot some free throws. Out comes Penley. Jenna Lemnis returns, and there's Amy Ruley, who hasn't been enthralled with some of the calls in the second half. Big free throw for O'Connell. Ooh, she missed the front end of the 1-and-1, and the rebound is controlled by Lemnis.
Again, good hustle by Sam Edwards to go after that ball. She couldn't quite reach it.
Under 8.5 minutes to go in the second half. Dons with a 6-point lead, still just a 2-possession game. Goes into the corner to Moran. She dribbles it back up high to Jurdot. Jurdot gets it down to Lemnis. Lemnis bounces off of Una, and they're going to have a reach-in, I believe, on O'Connell. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it is. It's on Hillary. But again, that will send North Dakota State to the free throw line for a pair. This will be Lemnis shooting 2. First time she's been to the free throw line. No. That rattles out. Lemnis is a 54% free thrower. Second one on its way. No. And the rebound is corralled by Courtney Reed, so a break for the Dons.
Yeah, that turned out to be a good foul.
Clock winds down to 8 minutes to go. Reed leaves for Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Jonna Lewis Carlisle driving, dishing underneath to Una, but it was poked away briefly by Megan Shea, and Dons will retain possession. And we have a timeout on the floor with 7:58 to go in the second half. IPFW leads North Dakota State 65-59. This is Dons basketball on College 5.
What's it like when you hear your calling? Will you remember where you were? Will you ignore it? Or will you listen? What if it calls you to go halfway around the world? To share your skills? To serve people you've never met? To do things you never thought you could? What will you do when you hear your calling? Peace Corps, life is calling. How far will you go?
Dave Skelton, Ken Horman back at the Gate Center. Doc, if the Dons go on to win this game, one of the stories will be the play of Julianne Una.
Yeah, she's had a game of her career so far here at IPFW.
Spotting up, knocking down another open jumper. Una, who came off the bench, is 8 for 12 from the field, 16 points. She has 8 rebounds. Dons lead it by 6. Jonna Lewis Carlisle crossover. She opens up the jumper. Oh, misses it. And the rebound is pulled down by Brenda Slight. What a move by Jonna Lewis to get herself open, but she missed the jumper.
Yeah, she had a good look.
Sam Edwards playing some hounding defense on Jurdot. Cross-court pass goes nowhere. Megan Shea threw that to her own bench, and again, the Dons trying to dial up that defense a little bit to create some more turnovers. Now we'll have Katie Dowen come in for Megan Shea. Dons up 65-59, 7:40 to go. Courtney Reed inbounds to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Dons have been aggressive through this game. You know, Doc, when North Dakota State was drawing so many fouls in the second half, Una goes underneath, misses the shot. Good defense that time by Ali Sunstelli, who checked in during that timeout. I think North Dakota State got the Dons in foul trouble by being more aggressive.
Yeah, they did.
Wide open jumper that time by Slight. And now it's 65-61, Dons by 4. So, you don't want to. Wow, what a great play by John Lewis Carlisle, just slashing down the lane, and JLC with the lay-in. Point I was going to make, you don't want to, really question the officiating. I think a lot of the whistles that were blown were as the result of North Dakota State being much more aggressive, especially down low.
Yeah.
Now a pass that was intended for Sanstelli goes off her fingers and out of bounds, and again another turnover by the Bison.
They're not taking very good care of the ball here in the second half. They've had 15 turnovers now.
And here comes John Lewis Carlisle. The clock will wind down, 6:44. O'Connell back to John Lewis Carlisle. Jonna starts her drive, dishes to Hillary. Hillary 3 on the way, off the front of the rim, and the rebound is grabbed by Katie Dowland. She puts it in the hands of Jurdot. And now here comes Slight. Boy, Slight is anything but Slight, 6 foot, but she can hit from inside and out. Now Jurdot trying to carve into a 6-point Dons lead. They come across. Good fake that time by Dowland. Get the ball into the corner. 3 on the way, and it's good. Emily Moran.
Yeah.
6 3-pointers for Moran, and now it's a 3-point game. The Dons lead 67-64 as we wind down to 6 minutes to go. Chris Paul is going to take a 30-second timeout to talk things over with his team. And we can tell you that for tickets to IPFW athletic events, it's pretty easy. You call 481-6000, or you can go to the IPFW athletic website, www.gomastodons.com. That's www.gomastodons.com. Tickets are available for individual events. There are also ticket packages for both men's and women's basketball seasons. Think about that next year, because you'll want to be a season ticket holder when IPFW joins the Mid-Continent Conference. Also discounts for Royal Dons Club members. Look into joining the Royal Dons Club. You can do it all by calling 481-6000 or on the web, www.gomastodons.com. And by all means, start thinking about season tickets next year, because as our slogan will be for 07-08, we're in it to win it. The Dons will be in the Mid-Continent Conference. And this is one of the ladies who will be a featured performer next year, the electrifying junior out of Lexington, Kentucky, Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Not afraid to go up among the tall timber, slashing in for that layup.
She just showed us her best Ashley Johnson move.
Yes, she did. Well, Courtney Reed will inbound right in front of us. Snaps the pass out to Jonna Lewis Carlisle under 6 minutes to go in regulation. Jonna Lewis dishes over to Tina Moen. Tina tries to work down the lane, spots up, and drops it through.
Nice move, nice move.
Little hop step for Tina Moen, and he was trying to draw some contact, and Chris Paul was looking for a 3-point play. Well, while he was working the official, it looked like maybe Emily Moran became a little distracted, and she double dribbled.
Yeah, and he almost got the official to look away and not catch that.
No, you're right, Doc. Well, we're going to have a substitution. Jurdot, who just got a brief rest during that last timeout, checks in for Katie Dowland. And now Jerry Penley, who sat briefly with 3 fouls, she comes back in, and her relief, Allie Sanstelli, will sit. Reed throws the pass out high where it's gathered in by Jonna Lewis Carlisle to Tina Moen, back to JLC. Now she crossover dribbles on her defender, Bew. Hillary O'Connell, open jumper. No, just a little too strong. Can they get to the rebound? Moen bangs off of Bew, but they'll say last touch by Tina. So the ball goes over to the Bison, 69-64 Dons. 5.5 minutes to go in regulation. Dons applying some backcourt pressure. Moran ahead to Jurdot. Fires it up where Penley leaves for Moran, and now in the hands of Jurdot. Jurdot to Moran. Have to make sure her hand is in her face. She has 6 3-pointers in the game. Now Slight throws it over to Jurdot. Back out to Bew. They come across to Moran. Shot clock is down to 8. Little runner on the drive. Banks it off the glass.
She can hit things other than a 3, can't
now
she?
Emily Moran has her first 2 of the game. 69-66, under 5 minutes to go. Jonna Lewis Carlisle drive. Runner, count the basket, and a foul. What a play by Jonna Lewis Carlisle, and guess who she draws the foul on? Emily Moran, her 4th.
Well,
Dan Moore will check in for Hillary O'Connell, and Jonna Lewis Carlisle will try to complete the 3-point play.
Both teams will just about have to go now with the people in foul trouble to see how this thing finishes up.
Well, how about Jonna Lewis? 16-point average, but 23 points tonight. She does not complete the three-point play. She was 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. 71-66 Dons, 4:50 to go. But a premier player for each team. Moran has 4 fouls for the Bison, and Butte travels. Ashley Johnson, who's been on the bench since the 9:09 mark, but is now going to come back in with her 4 fouls. So you've got Moran, 4 fouls. She has 21 points. Johnson, 4 fouls. She has 14. Jonna Lewis Carlisle has really picked things up with 23 points. Una has 16. She's had a brilliant game. Now Ashley Johnson spots up, running jumper, a little too strong. And the rebound is pulled out of there by Butte. She leaves for Jurdot. Dons just cannot put this team away. That's why North Dakota State is a solid 13-11 ball club. 3 on the way, yes, by Lisa Butte. Her third three-pointer, and now it's 71-69. That Don lead is down to 2.
It just goes from 1 to 5 to 1 to 5.
And frankly, as we tick down to 4 minutes, that isn't even much basketball.
Yes.
Well, it looked like a reach-in by Butte. Johnson comes up to Sam Edwards. Nan Moore goes baseline. Her runner, but she is blasted that time by Penley, and now Jerry Penley has her 4th personal. Now we have timeout on the floor, 3:58 to go in regulation. This has been a dandy. The Dons lead North Dakota State 71-69. IPFW basketball on College 5.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Honey.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
So you think women's basketball really isn't that physical? Well, how about this? Nan Moore along the baseline. Hello. She's greeted by Jerry Penley, who draws her 4th personal foul.
Says stop right there.
Yep. These ladies are in tremendous shape, and you have to be. And Nan Moore to the free throw line. First time she's been to the stripe, and she hits it.
Good looking free throw.
And there's a good look at Mahogany Green, one of the assistant coaches of the Dons. Nan, a little too strong on that one. Sam Edwards, though, battles for the rebound. Great job by Sam to get that board. Dons with a fresh 30 on the clock.
Great offensive rebound.
The ball and a 3-point lead. Moore leaves for Courtney Reed. As they cycle the ball around on a weave, Jonna Lewis Carlisle to Nan Moore. Corner for Sam Edwards. She thinks about it, comes back out to Courtney Reed. Dons now with some time. Shot clock, though, is down under 10. Jonna Lewis Carlisle. They get down to Una. Una driving on Penley. Una spins, puts up a little jump shot. Got it. What a play by Julianne Una.
Get me the ball.
And Penley had to back it off just a little bit with the 4 personal fouls. Clutch bucket by Una. 74-69 Dons. Una with 18 points.
Here it is at 5 again.
Now Jurdot gets it into the corner to Butte. She comes back out. Has the ball intercepted by Carlisle. Oh, but it's gathered back in by Slight. Cross court it comes. 3 on the way by Jurdot. What a clutch bucket. We have a foul called. The basket counts, so give the bucket to Jurdot, the 3-pointer. And who is the foul called?
I think on Samantha Edwards.
It is on Edwards. Oh my goodness, that'll be her 4th. Count the basket, and now you'll have 2 shots. This could wind up being a 5-point play. Chris Paul, hands on hips, cannot believe it. Well, it was 74-69, the Dons by 5. but we could have a 5-point play that could tie this game. Penley with the first free throw, no.
Fortunately, Penley is not their best free throw shooter.
Nope, she's a 52% free throw shooter. There's Amy Ruley, the coach of North Dakota State. Penley is 2 for 4. And hits that one. So quickly there'll be a substitute as Ashley Johnson comes in for Nan Moore. Well, how about this for a game reset? 3:05 in regulation. Dons lead 74-73. They have 10 team fouls, 9 for North Dakota State. So the next Bison foul has the Dons shooting 2 the rest of the way. Ashley Johnson to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. She dishes back off to AJ. This is where the senior leadership has to take over. And we have a foul called away from the ball.
Yeah, hand check. And I can't think of anybody I'd rather have at the free throw line late in the game than Ash Johnson.
Well, let's see who they called the foul on. I believe they got Bew. And for Bew, that would be just her second personal. That sends Ashley Johnson to the free throw line and rattles around and falls out. Oh, goodness. Well, Johnson, an 81% free thrower, is just 2 for 4. Free throws oh so critical down the stretch. AJ has that one. Nan Moore comes in for AJ. Chris Paul does not want her getting that 5th foul on the defensive end with still 2:50 to go.
The offensive, defensive substitutions.
2-point game, 75-73 Dons, who frankly have led throughout most of this tilt. Now up high, it's Slight. Takes a look, gives it back out to Bew. Comes way across to Moran. Moran quickly jumped on by Huna. Now they come to Slight. Slight looked like she traveled. They come across, 3 on the way by Moran. Look out, no. The rebound, though, is corralled and put back through that time. Ball wound up right in the hands of Slight. So Slight with the bucket. We are tied at 75 with 2:16, count it down now to 2:12 to go. Long jumper off the mark. They battle for the rebound on the floor. Nan Moore has it. Do they get a timeout? Do they get a timeout? Yes.
Yeah, Nan was calling timeout immediately.
So a break for the Dons off the errant jump shot. Nan Moore hustles, gets the ball on the floor, and calls timeout before she can be tied up. Well, one of the things, again, folks, if you ever want to know what's happening with IPFW, go to the Mastodons website. The latest Mastodon scores, stats, news, all available on the World Wide Web. It's our relatively new website, GoMastodons.com, www.gomastodons.com. You can check up on all of the teams, the players, and all the programs here at IPFW's official Mastodon athletic website, www.gomastodons.com. That is the brainchild of Sports Information Director Rudy Jovich, and what a great job he has done with that website. The men's team wrapping up its season tonight at North Dakota State if they could mush their way through the snow and get to Fargo.
Yeah.
Don's looking for their 13th win as well, but North Dakota State, that's a great ball club, which IPFW beat earlier at the Coliseum after being down 12 at halftime. North Dakota State going for its first ever 20-win season. 75-75, 2:08 to go in regulation, and now we have a discussion between the officials, Bob Enterline and Gary Roberts.
He's wanting to see something.
Coming over to the scorer's table, and they're having a discussion. The shot clock reads 28. Game clock reads 2:08. Good look at Chris Paul. Talking now with his assistants, Mahogany Green and Jenny Green, while the conversation continues at the scorer's table. I think everybody's satisfied.
Yeah, the key thing here is for the Dons to be patient.
It's this simple with 2 minutes and change to go. Positive trips, taking care of the ball. And we have a 5-second call called against the Dons.
And they got in each other's way.
Yep.
Out here, nobody could get to the ball.
Well, as far as the taking care of the basketball part of the conversation, oops.
Yeah.
And that's just the 9th turnover in IPFW. North Dakota State has committed 17. Here we are at the 2-minute mark of the second half. We are all tied up. Slight comes across the Bew. They get it down low. Moran from the baseline. It's an air ball, and it's grabbed by Ashley Johnson. Boy, a rare misfire that time by Emily Moran.
Yeah, she didn't get a very good look at the basket. She was on the baseline.
Ashley Johnson. 1:44 to go. Drives, leaves for Courtney Reed. John and Lewis Carlisle, they start that weave. JLC down the lane to Una. She just slashes down the baseline and lays it in. What a great play that time. And Una with the finish. Dons go up 77-75, under a minute and a half to go.
Tremendous pass.
Dons need defense. Slide up top. Now it goes to Jurdot. They get it down low. Penley puts it off the glass and good. Boy, Penley. First bucket and a timely one. Tied at 77 again, and 70 seconds to go in regulation. AJ crosses over to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Jonna drives, dishes to Una, jumper baseline, too strong. But she's fouled. What a break for IPFW, and I think Penley is fouled out of the basketball game. Penley has her 5th personal foul, so she'll leave with 5 points. And the Dons will be shooting key free throws with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go. What a basketball game this has been.
Yeah, it's been tremendous.
IPFW at one point leading by 12 in the first half, had several double-digit leads. North Dakota State closed to within 2 in the second half. Dons have had some 5 and 6 point leads, but could not put together this tough North Dakota State Bison team away.
Well, for 39 minutes, it's been a tie ball game. 40 minutes may not be enough today.
You're right, Doc, yeah. May want to get that extra beverage and snack because we could be here for a while. Julianne Una, a 76% free throw shooter. The game of her life with 20 points on 10 of 16 shooting. Her first trip to the free throw line, no. Ouch.
A little short. Probably a sign of a little bit of fatigue.
6-point average, and she has 20 tonight. A career night for Julianne. Second, that one's too strong. Both free throws off the mark. And now a minute to go in regulation. North Dakota State with the ball in a tie game. Free throws are so critical. Dons are 9 for 17 free throw shooting in this game.
Yeah, North Dakota State's 12 for 17.
Comes up high to Slight. Slight will put up the 3 ball. No, they battle for the rebound. It's a long rebound, and it's corralled by Jurdot. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. There's about an 11-second difference on the shot clock. Now Bew gets it down. Underneath goes Lemnis, and she draws the foul.
Yeah, she got her good.
Lemnis spun around on Una, missed the shot, but Julianne commits just her first personal. Chris Paul is barking at Bob Enterline, the official, saying you have to call that hook, but that time Lemnis just spun around Julianne.
Yeah, very quick move.
Lemnis is 0 for 2 from the stripe in this game, hits that one. Well, it comes down, quite honestly, to clutch free throw shooting. And Lemnis has given the Bison a rare lead and hits 2 clutch free throws.
And being a 54% free throw shooter, she got the job done.
Well, a quick timeout is called at 30 by North Dakota State. Well, Mike Moss is on the road with the men's basketball team. You can join head coach Dane Fife on College 5 for the Dane Fife Show, featuring highlights and insights from the Mastodons men's program from the coach and his guests. Again, Mike Moss, the host of the show, Wednesdays at 7 p.m., Fridays at 7 p.m., and Saturdays at noon right here on College Access TV5. Now, you can have a smorgasbord of IPFW athletics. Again, there's the men's volleyball team. They'll be in action here tonight at the Gate Center. 7 o'clock first serve against UC Santa Barbara. That's to be right here on College 5 in just a little more than 4 hours. And you could also catch the men's basketball game with Mike Moss on the radio tonight. The men playing their season finale in Fargo, North Dakota. Hopefully, weather permitting, if the Dons can get there.
If they found the dog sled that could make it through.
Yep, that'll be at 8 o'clock. Now here come the Dons, trailing by 2. Ashley Johnson drives as she goes to put up the shot. Wow, a late call.
Oh, yeah.
I thought for a moment there'd be no foul called, but eventually the whistle blew and they get Lisa Bew. So that puts Ashley Johnson to the free throw line. She's an 81% free thrower, but a little bit of an off day. She is 3 out of 5. Well, 20 seconds to go. The Dons have to have these free throws, no question. misses.
She's not getting quite enough arch on that shot. Yeah, you're right there. She's generally money in the bank.
After the game the Dons have played, will free throws be their undoing? She gets that one. And I believe Chris Paul now wants a brief timeout. Well, here we go. 79-78. The Dons now trail by one with 20.4 seconds to go. Well, the Dons 10 of 19 free throw shooting. North Dakota State 14 of 19. This would be a bitter pill to swallow if the Dons come up on the short end of this one, Doc. If you look at some of these stats, they've only had 9 turnovers. North Dakota State has had 17 turnovers. Dons have shot 50% from the floor, but 53% free throwing compared to 74% free throwing for North Dakota State.
Well, a key factor, too, on those three-point baskets. You look at the differential. IPFW's hit 6 more field goals.
Right.
But North Dakota State has hit 9 more three-pointers.
Yeah, they were 13 of 29,
Yeah.
while the Dons are 4 for 11. Well, the Dons have to come up with a stop, or they have to pick the right person to foul, and it looks like North Dakota State has more or less put their hands team in. You've got Jurdot, Moran, Slight, Bew, and the ball is in the hands of Emily Moran, and she is fouled immediately. Kayla Dahlen is the 5th Bison player to be in there.
I suspect we're going to see a lot of free throws here in the last 20 seconds.
Fouls on Jonna Lewis Carlisle, just her 2nd. Sends Moran to the free throw line. She is a 75% free throw shooter. She's 1 for 2 in this game, but she has been a story with 21 points, 6 3-pointers. She hits the first. But it's the play that Chris Paul had to make. Coming out as Nan Moore, coming in as Hannah Tiki, because she can hit the ball from behind the arc at the very least. The Dons will have a shot here because they'll be down 2 right now, or at the worst, 3. And it's still a 1-possession game. Free throw is good. Boy, a clutch free throw by Moran. How about this? A gal who averages 7.5 points a game has 23.
Pretty good afternoon's performance.
Under 18 seconds to go. Jonna Lewis Carlisle drives the lane. They just let her go in for the layup. Chris Paul calls it immediate timeout.
And they might have missed a travel there, too.
I think you may be correct, Doc. 81-80. The Dons trail by 1, 12.4 seconds to go.
IPFW's last timeout.
Well, we talked about the outstanding Royal Dons Club we have here at the university. You can become a member. There's always room for you. It's IPFW's official athletic booster organization. Members enjoy athletics-related special events, priority access to tickets, and much more. To learn about the Royal Dons Club, call 481-6894. That's 481-6894. Or go to the IPFW athletic website, www.gomastodons.com. I tell you, it is a great bang for your buck opportunity, and you're supporting a great institution and a great bunch of coaches and kids. Well, the ball is flipped in again to Moran. She's immediately fouled. I believe they have Nan Moore, yes. So for
Moran wants the ball.
Her 3rd. Well, she just came from the free throw line where she hit 2 clutch free throws. 3 for 4 from the stripe is Emily Moran, a usual 75% free thrower. First one on its way, yes.
A 2-shot bonus is a big one because it lets that free throw shooter be a little less nervous on the first one.
Second one is good. Now Tiki back in, who can hit the 3 ball. Moore goes out. And the Dons are going to need a 3 or a 3-point play.
They've got plenty of time.
And they've got plenty of 3-point shooters out there. Johnson to Carlisle. Here comes the 3 ball. It's too strong. And the rebound is corralled by Bew. She's fouled immediately. And now things are looking bleak for the Dons.
Well, you have to hand it to this North Dakota State squad. They have hung in there and hung in there and hung in there all day long.
Courtney Reed has assessed the personal foul, her first, but Lisa Bew, a 75% free throw shooter who's 4 for 4, can more or less seal this one. First one, yes. What an effort by IPFW, who has led throughout most of this game, but it looks like North Dakota State is going to come up with a big second half rally. Well, Hillary O'Connell and Ashley Johnson are coming out to a standing ovation, and we see tears in AJ's eyes as she comes to the bench. Their final game in an IPFW uniform, standing ovation for these outstanding seniors. Bew hits the second, and that's going to do it.
That's
85-80, and
at least 6 in a row at the end there on the free throw line, maybe 8.
Yep.
Well, it was a great game. Great game.
And the final seconds tick down, and the Dons lose a heartbreaker as they fall to North Dakota State 85-80. IPFW finishes the season at 12-17. North Dakota State goes to 14-11. Just an outstanding basketball game as IPFW comes up a little bit short, but still a great effort by these ladies who are huddling at center court. It's like we're seeing some emotion on the face of Hillary O'Connell, who's played her final game. Dons lose by 5. We'll be back to wrap things up. This is IPFW basketball on College 5.
That's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's got to feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Back at the Gate Center, what has been a fabulous basketball game, North Dakota State rallying in the second half to defeat the Mastodons by the final of 85-80. Dave Skelton and Ken Horman here from the Gate Center. Just a tremendous effort all around, Doc. We see some of the highlights of this ball game. There's Julianne Una, who had a sensational game, setting a screen, then dishing off to Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Jonna Lewis, the big day with 25 points. Jonna returning the favor. One of the stories of the day was Una, the junior from Germany, a career-high 20 points. But I'll tell you, it seems like this North Dakota State team had an answer. Whenever IPFW would get ahead, 6-7 points, have the chance to maybe widen the gap, try to put this team away. It shows why Amy Ruley, a 28-year veteran of coaching women's college basketball, has a team that just never gives up, and this team never gave up, and they finally rallied down the stretch and put IPFW away thanks to some key free throw shooting in the final seconds.
Yeah, this final margin of 5 points is a big margin in this game for either team, and it was a tough game.
Well, you take a look at some of the key numbers. North Dakota State 20-25 from the free throw line, including clutch free throws down the stretch. Don scuffled a little bit, going 10 of 19 at the free throw line. You have to hit those free throws, well, throughout the entire 40 minutes, but especially at crunch time inside of those final 2 minutes. Well, again, the Dons lose a tough one here, 85-80 to North Dakota State. Still a great season for the women as they wind up 12-17. North Dakota State moves on at 14-11. Doc, thanks so much. A pleasure working with you today.
Enjoyed it.
And we'll have more action tonight here on College 5 when it'll be men's volleyball as the Dons take on UC Santa Barbara, 7 o'clock right here on College 5. We'd like to thank at this time the College 5 production crew, the IPFW athletic staff, the City of Fort Wayne, Comcast Cablevision, and especially the IPFW Office of University Relations and Communications for their contributions to this College 5 sports telecast.